Stop talking about that.
Oh well.
Hey everybody, Dustin Dopirak, Hugh Kellenberger. We did not work out today, or at least not with the Janae Jackson.
We did not.
So
no,
this midweek ScoopTalk is because we talked to Tom Crean today.
We did talk to Tom Crean today. It's been a while since we spoke to him on the record.
Yeah, we've heard him. We've heard him talk several times.
Yes,
we've been in his presence. He did not go in hiding or anything.
No, but
it was just not a situation in which we turned on a recorder and said
and
go.
Asked questions. Yeah,
yes.
The last time I think was August. I want to say,
right.
Sometime at the end of summer, we discussed things, and we're back with him again today.
We were.
There were some interesting things. I mean, there wasn't a lot of specifics going on today. He was talking more in grand generalities, as he does. And mostly, I think that the big topic of the day, which you picked up on your column, is just talking about, competition and some of those things that he's looking to foster with this group that's, which is closer to normal than really anything he's had before.
Yeah, and that was the big thing. It wasn't talking about competition of one day we're going to have competition. When I can recruit more such and such guys that I can't really name, but I'm going to make you know that who I'm talking about, we're going to be able to compete. They're at that point now where he was talking like a normal college basketball coach. Yeah. He was talking about a guy who went 10-21 last year and doesn't want to go 10-21 again this year.
Exactly. I mean, he was talking. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, and it's optimism, and it's really encouraging, I think, around Cook Hall. A lot of people are really encouraged by the idea that there is optimism around the program. And it is, and it's good. But really, this is the time of year to be optimistic. That's normal.
True. But it's a higher level than you've seen before. I mean, I think even last year, there was the understanding that he kind of put it as this is really year one. The real year one, the actual year one was a wash, a complete wash because they didn't have anybody. And...
Right, and the column I said, this Hoosier Stereo will be a normal Midnight Madness event.
Yeah.
The first year was about seeing the little engines that could, guys.
Exactly.
Last year was about seeing the saviors up close and personal. This year, we're going to see Victor Oladipo and Will Sheehy and Guy Mark Michel, and fans certainly want to see what those guys look like and how they play.
Right.
But really, you want to see, is Tom Pritchard slimmed down? Is Verdell Jones gotten more muscular? Has Jordan Holt gotten more muscular? He has. I mean, these are all things, just the look test. Yeah. These are all true. How does Maurice Creek look? Does he look back? Does he look somewhere near being back?
Yeah.
Those are things that every other college basketball program is looking at. The vast majority.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of cases this year, they're finally basketball fans will probably be able to look for guys that they're familiar with to some degree. There's obviously are some new guys, but they're used to having six,
we have some idea what to expect.
Yeah. No, obviously. There's some clue. You're looking to see what Maurice has done, what Verdell has done, and obviously, like you said, there's anticipation about the freshmen, and Guy Mark Michel to a strong degree, who is in large part being a grand secret up to this point. But again, like you said, it's a lot about guys you've already seen. People are going to be interested to see if Derek Elston's as big as it's been said, and he's pretty.
He was pretty big last year. He's gotten bigger.
True. Another big talk he had today was just improving the defensive mindset and how he's going to change practice this year to focus on that a little bit more.
Yeah, he talked a lot about the idea that he will kind of back off on putting in offensive plays in order to work on the defense. And correct me if I become odd on this, but the only thing I could think of was the movie Coach Carter.
Okay.
Have you seen this movie?
I have not seen this movie.
Okay, Samuel L. Jackson playing a basketball coach, which is awesome in and of itself.
Right.
But he spends the entire him coaching a high school basketball team. He spends the entire preseason focused on defense. He teaches them every defense and then they get to the first game and go, Coach, we don't offense. We don't know what to do with the ball, and he goes, just run. because he had conditioned them to such an extent where they could basically just get turnovers and then run and get easy baskets.
Yeah, and that was kind of something about what he was talking about.
And to some degree, Tom Crean was talking about the Samuel L. Jackson offense-defense strategy. Because he talked about getting more easy baskets like he did at Marquette. And how, once again, he pulled out a stat about how Marquette led the nation, or led the Big East in turnovers, and how that, even though Marquette's shooting percentage and Indiana's shooting percentage were equal, the amount of easy baskets you get certainly will help.
Right. No, that was obviously a big theme, and I think can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but defense obviously was very much IU's downfall, especially during the Big Ten season. There were some really, really rough games there, and a lot of what he talked about today was mindset about getting guys tougher. I mean, it was. He did attempt to answer, I guess, some of the individual questions, but it just didn't seem like he wanted to really go there yet.
Right, and keep in mind, he knows these guys. To suggest that he doesn't know these guys is certainly wrong. But he also, to talk about where these guys are at right now, he's actually seeing them for 2 hours a week.
Right, which
he's
made
actually
a point to complain about.
Right, he's actually coaching them for 2 hours a week. So I think it's a little bit hard to really talk in great detail about something that you only can see for that amount. And the rest you're just hearing kind of second hand and third hand and whatever else hand.
Right.
We should talk about the other kind of big news in IU basketball circles. Baylor is being investigated by the NCAA for how it has chosen to recruit Hannah Perea. It has chosen to recruit him quite illegally.
Looks that way.
And also trying to
strong-arm him.
Strong-arm him to send him back to Columbia.
Yeah.
Which is a first. Yeah. I've never seen that happen before.
The I guess the prevailing thing, and there's obviously anonymous sources on this that I can't divulge at this point. But
it's an
I guess the fear
there's won't talk on the
exactly.
record.
There's no obviously Perea couldn't be deported. That's not something that Baylor has the power to do. Yeah, but I guess they insinuated ways where they might be able to, I guess influence him to go back, or maybe use other people to influence him to go back. But that was obviously a very strange and threatening text message to send about a high school recruit. But the general issue, of course, is texting coaches during the July evaluation period, which is illegal, and the texter in question was already in trouble for text messages and was not allowed to be recruiting off campus.
And he also was too stupid to he was texting Mark Adams, Indiana Elite coach, at an event that Hannah Perea was not even at.
Yeah, it was remarkable.
That was the best part to me. The sheer ineptitude of that assistant coach cannot.
Right. Well, of course,
it cannot be overstated.
Of course, you don't know what he was saying.
But
because obviously they spend time. Mark Adams spends a lot of time with Hunter. I think Hunter actually stays at his house in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. At least it's for some periods.
Yeah.
So that there obviously is kind of reason for that. But yeah, the it was said that he was texting him during a tournament in Louisville where we were and where Mark was, but where Hunter was not because he had I think it was an ankle injury, was it not?
Yeah. It was an ankle injury. Yeah, he kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit at ankle or Achilles. Was it Achilles?
I can't remember what it was.
It was a minor leg. It was a minor leg injury.
It was the first day in Indy, and I didn't see him again.
Right, Dustin actually cried because he loved to watch Hannah Perea play so much.
It was fun to watch Smith Rivera and Perea on the same team in May, and it didn't happen in July. That kind of bummed me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that could be an issue. Now that doesn't mean Perea is going to commit to Indiana tomorrow.
Right. Let's commend Baylor for one thing. The last time the NCAA got involved with Baylor, they had murdered a player.
True.
Now they're just threatening to deport people. They are slowly getting better.
This is just wrong.
By 2020, Baylor may be an upstanding member of the NCAA.
Wow.
Book it.
Wow.
They may just have secondary violations.
Hugh took it there. Are we really joking about this?
I'm not joking about it. I'm joking about Baylor. I'm not joking about the horrible tragedy that happened that involved members of the Baylor
Patrick
team.
Dennehy and Carlton
Dodson. Right. That is terrible. That was horrible. I cannot say that enough.
Yeah.
But for Baylor to go back down this road again.
Yeah, you would
think something.
That's rough.
There's some melons there.
You said it. I didn't. Anyway. Yeah, so but just for the record, that doesn't mean Perea is going to commit tomorrow.
No.
There are other schools on his list. I don't know that I would be quite surprised for Baylor to still be in the ballgame here.
Right, but you may see somebody else really take an aggressive. If he was really looking to only decide between two, you may see somebody else become that second one.
Yeah, somebody else kind of.
And he's looking to not make a commitment anytime soon. Yeah, anyways.
So that does not mean they have him, because that would be a major get. But
it would be. That would be amazing pickup for the Hoosiers.
He's kind of good.
Right. We should wrap up, but we will be back in 2 days with Hoosier Hysteria. Start of college basketball season. Also, Hoosier Hysteria means Hugh doesn't have to cover high school football Friday night. Exactly. I like high school football, but Hoosier Stadium. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's a dunk contest.
And also, it's early this year. They're not going to screw with us on deadline.
This is the first time I've gotten to cover a Midnight Mass event because I always have to cover high school basketball instead.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. Anyway, we got to shut this off.
Let's go. Bye.